Hey there, YouTube. It's a24 Finger, and I'm making a couple videos today. First off, we're going to be doing a movie review. There was a while when, if you were going to be watching a movie that came out of the A24 studio, well, for me that meant it was more than likely I would be enjoying the evening's entertainment. That being said, I'm not the person who relies on the institution of Hollywood to get me off the hook of my own horrific reality. I don't pad my life out um, with breaks from reality to serve as a pressure valve because I can't stand myself. When I was coming up, I was probably tripping, and I set some signposts in the future, like don't lie to your wife, don't cheat on your wife, don't gamble, don't use heroin. Just some basic guidelines, and you think, oh, that's really silly. Why would you need to do that? Well, so if I'm invested in a film, and the core of this film is there's a marriage. If they throw infidelity into there, it's difficult for me. Now, that being said, the movie I watched last night was The Zone of Interest. I would not recommend this movie. It was an A24 film. It's shot beautifully. It's super realistic. It shows the lifestyle of a upper middle class family in Germany, in Europe, what that would look like at that time, what their home looked like, what their garden was like. And I know some people that came out of that system from that time, and I've been in their homes and been in their backyards, and yes, they did a really good job to replicate all that, and it was fascinating to see all that again. But going back, me coming in the 70s and seeing what their homes look like on the inside, well, a lot of that same furniture was there. It was the same style. So there is that correct sense of correctness that you will find in this film, and how they really did a great job of replicating all of that. Now, the dividing line is the the fifth character in this film is Auschwitz, and they don't show that. That is, you can hear it. They've done a great job with the sound effects and using some low frequencies. Um, and maybe that would have worked a little better in the sense of seeing it in the theater with the larger speakers. I do have a subwoofer. I did notice low frequency stuff going on at certain parts in the film, so I'm saying maybe this would be a better effect on you in the theater. Again, if we want to go down that road and talk about the theater, I really do not enjoy going in the theater. I really don't. I've been in the theaters before where there isn't anybody else in there, or it's just a few people. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy a clean theater. I enjoy an odor-free cinema. We went during Star Wars. We were like dragged along. It wasn't my idea to go, and the smell and my feet stuck to the floor, and then like every seat in the place was full, and there was people with their kids moving around in the aisles and going up and down with the phones, like, and then like respond, like everyone laughing at everything. Like, I guess that's what it is now. You have to laugh at everything. So I really, really do not enjoy that experience with the smell. And by smell, I mean like the smell of an amusement park in July, which is this sour, like rotten soda pop smell. I don't know what it is, but uh, I am not a fan of going to the movie theater at all. I do not like it. Um, then again, I've been when there's nobody there and it's clean and the sound is good. There's always audio issues when I go. It'll be really quiet, and then there's explosions going off in the next theater that you can hear bleed through. So the laundry list of complaints, like comparing it to here at home where I'm comfortable because I have a back issue, I have chronic pain, so I'm comfy here in this chair. I can recline, I can use pillows to get myself where I'm not feeling a lot of pain, and then I can use closed caption, which I really love closed caption. I can pause it. So my wife and I, we both are not a fan of dinner and a movie. That's not who we are. We like staying home. That being said, I think this movie would have worked a little bit better in the theater simply because of some of the low-end audio tricks that they did. And in the theater, you have more larger speakers than just one subwoofer. So it'll be more inescapable. They did introduce infidelity into the concept of the film, the family. 3/4 of the way through, there was a brief scene that suggested that this marriage wasn't legit. Anytime they show that, I really lose all respect for the characters involved. And it's just not helpful. It's like, wait a minute, I was supposed to care about these people? What's the point of showing that? But I guess that was the point of this, was here is this family, but they weren't good people. So you're trying to show me that the Nazi family that ran, the guy that was the head of the death camp, that they wouldn't be good people. It's like, surprise. It's kind of a no-brainer. So I really didn't see the point in this movie, although I'm not here to glorify Nazism or say Germany was good or any of that, or Nazis are cool because they had great uniforms. That's not me at all. Not at all. All of that stuff is evil. It's horrific, and we should never tolerate. I don't sit back and watch Triumph of the Will and think, haha, it's kind of cool, all those people gathered together thinking the same thing. No. That's really the worst of humanity. That's really, really dangerous stuff. Really bad. So I'm not here to glorify Nazism. I'm not saying, oh, I didn't like this movie because they showed these people were really dirtbags. They didn't have a legitimate relationship. I just didn't see the point. I guess we have to constantly remind ourselves of the Holocaust because of anti-Semitism. So we need these reminders in the media. Is how that's been painted is like we got to constantly remind ourselves, or they'll start making gas chambers and throwing people in there again. So that's a really unfortunate reality about humanity. It sucks, and to have to be reminded of that for your evening's entertainment doesn't seem like a good way to keep myself entertained. That being said, if you're a fan of those uniforms, if you think Nazis are kind of cool, yeah, definitely watch this movie. If you need to be reminded about the Holocaust, yeah, definitely watch this movie. If your family is Jewish, but if you're a normal person and we're thinking this movie has something to offer, I don't think it does. I was not entertained by this movie on the level that I was tricked into thinking that this movie was going to deliver something, an emotional response. because it doesn't. It was very, very. Uh, I actually liked the pacing, that it was so slow. I knew right in the beginning when they showed the minute of just blackness. There was a minute, and they played this audio, and the way that the audio built itself up, I knew that they were going for like a post Kubrick, is what they were going for. So, taking it as a historical document of its accuracy of what this home looked like, what this family looked like, all of that stuff, applying it to it is yes, thumbs up. They did a great job, and you'll find yourself entertained by that. But thinking that there's going to be anything else, that there's going to be, that's going to trigger an emotional response, there wasn't. There wasn't anything. So, I've never saw Schindler's List. I don't like stuff that's really unbelievably sad, and I risked it with this movie. And I thought, well, whatever, maybe I'll be able to handle it. And there really wasn't anything. I mean, there is a montage. And I guess the cinematic trick, the way that they employed it, was jarring enough to break the fourth wall for me, where it just didn't work. So maybe in the theater that trick would have worked, and it would have had the emotional response. That being said, I'm not the type of person who would be like, set up a bunch of ovens and start throwing people in there, So I don't know, maybe that message wasn't really designed for someone like me. That being said, it's not a terrible movie. It's just not a good movie. And it kind of sucks that we constantly need to remind ourselves of these atrocities, because I don't want to have to keep thinking about these assholes, It's like Germany passed this law where you can't have any representation of that stuff. And that was smart of them. That being said, there's that other argument that we constantly need to keep bringing this back up to remind ourselves so it won't happen again. So, I'm not going to comment on that. This is a political channel. I'll just go so far as say that I didn't enjoy the movie. All right, you guys, take care. I'm sure you can find something else enjoyable to spend your time watching. That being said, hug your pets and your loved ones, and peace.